What is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is digital property. If I want to give music to 5 billion people, I can't do it with CDs and records and orchestras and pianos. I need to do it with streaming Spotify music or Apple Music or Amazon Music. And it's pretty obvious. You can have 50 million songs for $9 a month or for free if you go digital music. And if you go analog music, I can't give an orchestra and a piano, and I can't give 100 records to everybody on earth. If I want to give knowledge to everybody on earth, I need to provide digital books and digital lectures. I can't give everybody an MIT Harvard education for $250,000. I can't give everybody a library. The cost of the books that I used at MIT was $4,000, $5,000. Now it would be $10,000. So you have to have digital books. If you want to give property to 5 billion people, okay, you have $387 or some amount of money, and you want to save it for 100 years, and you want to give it to your grandson or granddaughter, and you don't want anybody to ever take it from you. How do you store property for 100 years? Well, the old technique was gold. Well, I know for a fact, if you buy $387 worth of gold, you'll pay a 40% markup. Okay, well, what if you want to sell the gold? Well, you'll pay a 30% discount. Every time you trade it, it's plus 40, minus 40. Can you give gold to 5 billion people on the planet? No. You can't give property via gold everywhere on the planet. You can't carry gold through an airport. Every year, gold miners create more gold. They're inflating the supply and diluting it. If you look at every city in the world 100 years ago, you'll find that you would have lost your gold in every city on earth except for Geneva and Zurich. Every other regime seized the gold. So you can't give people property rights with gold. It's an antiquated idea. Generally, you get murdered, or the government seizes your gold, or the miners. If the miners produce 2% more gold a year over 100 years, that means you lose 85% of the value of the gold from inflation. Can you buy land? Try to buy $387 worth of land. Okay, where? I mean, the fees of buying land are high. It takes 6 months. It's illiquid. There's no $387 worth of land. How do you take the land from one country to another country? Property in the form of land, it gets property tax. If I own land in Florida, there's a 2% tax a year, which means over 30 years, I get taxed on 100% of the value of the land, because they keep raising the property tax and they keep reappraising the land up. So you can't store money in property. You can't store it in gold. Can you store it in the currency? No, the currency, the US dollar is inflating at 20% a year. That means you're going to lose half of your money. You're going to lose 99% of your property over the course of 100 years if you store it in the currency. Can I buy stocks? What company are you going to buy that'll be around in 100 years? Okay, how many people can buy Apple stock? Okay, how do you take Apple stock off the exchange? So stocks are risky, and you're subject to antitrust risk, you're subject to unionization risk, you're subject to income tax risk, you're subject to employee tax risk, you've got competition. You've got to trust the board of directors and the CEO. So let's come back to the fundamental question. How do you give music to 5 billion, digital music? How do you give knowledge to 5 billion people? Digital video, digital lectures, digital books that are free. How do you give property to 5 billion people? Digital property. What is Bitcoin? Digital property. Bitcoin is the ability to buy $387 worth of property, carry it around on your mobile phone, send it to your grandson or granddaughter. You don't have to keep it in a bank. You don't have to trust a third party. You don't have to trust a CEO. You don't have to trust a company. You don't have to trust a country. It is digital property on an open monetary protocol. No one can screw it up. I have billions of dollars of it. I can't screw it up. I have no control over it. The enemy has no control over it. Your friend has no control over it. So it is It is the first time in the history of humanity that we have invented digital property. And when you're buying Bitcoin, it's like buying into the digital property network. It's like, so how do I deal with volatility? Well, if you bought Amazon stock at any point in its history, it would have been volatile. It would draw down 80%, 5 times, I think. The only mistake you could ever have made would have been to sell Amazon stock. If you bought Google stock on its IPO, it went up by like 44,000%, some ridiculous number. The only mistake would be to sell Google. How about at Facebook? I bought Facebook stock before it came public.
Nice.
People said, well, what is this? A social network? I never heard of it. What is it going to do? We're going to collect and channel all of the social energy in the world. Well, that's worth $1 trillion today. I bought Apple stock when it's a couple of dollars a share. What is that? Well, I'm going to collect all the digital videos and all the digital photos and the digital communications in the world, digital music, digital book. Well, what would be are they volatile? Yeah. Are they all going up? Sure. Why are they going up? Because 5 billion people have a mobile phone and they all want to store their communications, their videos, their book via software, and they want to move it at the speed of light and program it. So Bitcoin is competing with you buying land, or you buying stock, or you buying gold, or you buying currency and using it to store your value for the next 30 years or more. Why is it winning? Because you can program $1 million block of digital gold, move it at the speed of light, and you can make 1 million transactions an hour on it. And you're never going to be able to program physical gold, and you're never going to move physical gold at the speed of light. So this is just a technology play. If you don't understand the technology, like a lot of people didn't understand Facebook. Okay, they didn't buy it. They lost $1 trillion. A lot of people, you ever use Google Maps? Google Maps looks like magic. You look at it, it tells you how fast the traffic is moving. How much better is Google Maps than a Rand McNally map? A lot better. Why? Because it's a digital map. And so as long as you understand digital maps are better than physical maps, digital music is better than physical music, digital video is better than physical video, and digital property is better than physical property. Once you get that idea in your head, then you understand that Bitcoin is the future, because if you want to build a 21st century cyber economy that 8 billion people can benefit from, 8 billion people are going to have mobile phones, 8 billion people are going to do 1 billion transactions a second with each other, or 1 billion transactions an hour. At the speed of light, they're going to want to program them. They're going to need to move value between New York and Tokyo, and we can't ship 30,000 pounds worth of gold between New York and Tokyo to run the 21st century economy. It would cost you $5 million. It would take 90 days. It's too hard. And so once you get in your head that I want to move $1 billion worth of money between New York and Tokyo in 1 second, therefore I need digital property on an encrypted network that's programmable. Once you get that idea, the light bulb goes off and you realize this is just technology. It's better technology. All you got to do is buy it and wait for the rest of the world to figure it out. 99% of the world didn't understand it a year ago. Today, 98% of the world doesn't understand it. If you roll the clock back 15 years, 99% of the world didn't understand Amazon, Google, Facebook, and Apple. Most people will understand that it makes sense for us to have property on a technology network in the palm of our hand, moving at the speed of light. They don't understand it. They're afraid of it. They don't understand. They're like, well, Bitcoin doesn't move that fast. Well, yes, it does if you put a layer 2 on it. If you plug PayPal and Square and Lightning and any other network on a proof of stake network on top of Bitcoin, it does move at the speed of light. And it is programmable. People just lack imagination and they lack education.